Hello, everybody. Good morning. It's still morning time. Happy Wednesday to all of you. This is Christina Garrett with the Mamathon Diaries. I am your productivity coach here today for a live slash rant slash powerful coaching moment for all of you guys who sometimes we are doing all the things, we are working hard to make magic happen in our families, in our lives. And for a lot of us, we are simply trying to elevate, to grow, to plan ahead, and to be the best version of ourselves. If you are new here, if you just so happen to find me out of the blue, if you said, you know what, today is the day I'm going to come and join Christina live. If you decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to pop into our Facebook community and tap in. She's talking about procrastination and planning ahead and being focused. And maybe, just maybe, those are some of the things that you are working on crafting and becoming an expert at in this current season of your life. If that is you, welcome. I am Christina. I am very honored to be you all's productivity coach, to be the voice in the back of your mind, reminding you that you can be the fullest version of who you said you are going to become. That in fact, if you are on a journey, you're trying to figure it out, you're working on defining what the end of the year is going to look like for you, this live is completely for you. This community is for you, and our annual conference, the Mamathon Conference, this October, this month, the 27th through the 29th, is also for you. Okay. If you didn't know, if you just found out, I am a pastor's wife. I'm a homeschooling mom of 5 incredible but very loud children who keep me on my toes. And all they do is eat, and all we do is wrangle around together and just do the best that we can in order to execute as a family at the highest level. Our community is full of epic women, superstar divas who are basically crafting their own definition of success. Okay, for those who are, you're looking at the end of the year, you're looking at what you want to accomplish. You're in the throes of making it all work together. You are not by yourself. You're not by yourself, okay? And we want you to know today, this week, this month, as we enter the fourth quarter of the year, which is hard to believe, that everything that you set your mind to do, you can accomplish, you can achieve, okay? So I'm going to make sure that we are live in all the places today. As you're coming on, as you're watching this video, I really want us to question if we have an aversion to strategic planning. Okay. An aversion to strategic planning. This morning, today, I got some messages. I was just getting messages. I booked my ticket. I got my flight. I booked my room. Like, it was like boom, 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 like woman after woman after woman. And I think that we are 90% full for our room block already for the conference in Atlanta. And we're just going to have a really amazing time already, flat out. That being said, hold on, I'm going to make sure I tag my tribe in the group. Hold on, everybody. There we go. All right, so we're going to have an amazing time. We're going to cut up. It's going to be so good, right? But in the midst of all of this planning and doing this work and this effort, I have also had a lot of amazing conversations with epic women who have had an aversion to planning ahead. Okay, what does this mean? This means that when it comes time to nail down an activity, nail down a schedule, nail down how you're going to implement on a specific goal, some of us shrink backwards. Okay. There are some ladies in our community who have been paying for, put my thing right here, who asked early on, right? Christina, put the offer out. I said, listen, if you need a invoice for your ticket, if you need to pay $100 a month for this many months in order to get there, all fine and good. If you need the discount code, that's fine and good. If you need to, whatever it is if you need us to help find you a roommate, we'll do that too, right? Like I was going through all the reasons why somebody would not be able to attend. What are those reasons that you have that you might not be able to attend? And how can we help you to overcome that? How can we help you to move around your own personal reasons and make it work for you? Somebody this morning reached out to me and she said, Christina, I want to coach with you for 6 months. That might not be my family's what I can do right now. I said, listen, if you have a desire to get coaching support, let's figure out how we can make it work for you. Let's figure out how we can make it work, right? But for many of us, we have such an aversion to admitting that we need support or help, saying, hey, listen, maybe I can't do the whole ticket at one time. I'm going to do it like this. Hey, I would love a roommate. That cuts my hotel costs down to half, right? Like if these are things that we need to do to get in the room, some of us will have such an aversion to spending $200, $300. And I shared the other day, like I went to a single event, met a single woman, which turned into over $20,000 in a partnership for me. And it's not done. Me meeting those people introduced me to an opportunity to apply for a 6-figure grant. As in, I'm on the phone with the person who says yes or no on Zoom, talking it up about kids and family and all the things. But some of us, we have such an aversion to starting the plan in the first place. Good morning. Starting the plan in the first place that we don't even move in the direction of how can I make this happen? I really want this. Somebody said, I feel like I need to be there. I said, if that's how you feel, let's figure out how we can make it happen for you. Let's figure it out together. I told someone yesterday, I said, I'm equally invested in your logistics. If you want to be here, if you're willing to work hard to get here, the least I can do is to be there with open arms. Listen, here's a discount code. Listen, we're taking more sponsors. Listen, will you sponsor a mom? Like I'm doing all of these things for y'all, right? But you got to want to lean in and step into. You got to say, you know what? I do want it. I do believe this is for me. Nobody else can want that more for you, right? So I have these women coming from all over the country. Texas, DC, Canada, outside the country, from Canada, all over the country. Like, listen, we're flying in. We're on the way. We're pulling up. New York, DC, the Carolinas, all over the country. Because we know that there's something here. I know there's something there for me too. I don't know what it is yet. But I know there's something there for me. So let's talk about strategic planning, okay? The idea of a strategic plan. Good morning, y'all. Share this with a friend who likes to procrastinate, okay? The idea of a strategic plan very often can be more stressful than anything, okay? The idea of leaning towards a specific goal, a desire, a dream, a decision, because things have not always worked out the way we wanted them to in the past, very often we have a tendency to not make a plan at all in the first place. Have you ever been that woman who you get excited about what life is, all the things that are coming together, right? You're excited about how things are coming together. You're like, you know what? I believe that this is for me. I believe that I'm doing exactly what I said I was going to do. But what we do is we implement the strategy of procrastination. Okay? Yes, it can be a strategy. Some of us, this is how we solve problems. When we come up against an obstacle, when we come up against a stressful situation, when we come up against something that we haven't yet figured out, good morning. When we come up against all of this, we say to ourselves, self, let's just put it on the shelf and wait and see how it works out. Let's just see what happens. Surely it's going to come together on its own. Surely God is going to speak. Like just like the Old Testament when he wrote on the wall, or it could be just like my ring light, right? Just like this. And I got my ring light today. Oh, when God says yes, it's going to turn on. It's going to be like this divine light shining down from above when the decision is correct. When it's right for me, it's going to just, oh, like the Lord is going to let everything just shine down and descend on me. And that's how I know that God wants me to make this move. God wants me to take this next step. God says this is for me. And sometimes we implement procrastination and then we blame it on life. We blame it on God. We blame it on everything else. As opposed to, can I make this work? Is this for me? Do I have the desire? I had someone, and this, I can't coach everybody on this, right? But I can just say it out loud. So it helps us to identify thought errors, ways that we think about things that get us jacked up. Okay? That we begin to believe our own story about a situation, about a circumstance. We begin to believe our own story. Okay? So I was like, listen, you should totally come in October. This was 6 months ago. 6 months ago, this beautiful sister told me, she said, I can't afford to come. When we put ourselves in a situation like that, right? When we say 6 months from now, I can't afford something. 6 months from now, 3 months from now, a week from now, I can't afford it. Right? It's okay for us to be budget conscious. It's okay for us to say, you know what, I'm making a decision. I'm not doing X, Y, and Z. But I, Christina, will not close off the abundance of God and his show upness in my life to do something that I believe is calling my name. I'm not going to say, oh, I couldn't do that. It's 6 months away, 3 months away, a month. The conference is now a good 4 weeks out, right? And even now we feel as though I can't have that, even though it's so far away. There's no way God is going to bless me between now and then. So what we do is we wait so long to make decisions until the decision is inadvertently made for us. I'm not going to plan. And we're going to go into some reasons why we have an aversion to planning. Number one reason, fear of disappointment. Some of us have been let down by others on such a consistent basis that we will not go back to try and trust again. Maybe it was someone who said they were going to come and help and they didn't. Maybe you hired somebody, they didn't follow through. Whatever those things are, like the reasons that we might lean on an external circumstance, maybe that didn't work out. So now, in order to save myself from feeling disappointment, it's a trauma response. In order to save myself from feeling disappointed, I will not try at all. I'm not going to plan at all. I'm not going to put any effort forward. Yeah, I'm good. In order for me not to feel what I feel, in order for me not to feel that letdown, that gravity that I had before, I'm not even going to push the envelope to see if this is something that could work out for me. I told y'all, some of the ladies paid on ticket invoices starting in April, March, May. They were like, I'm not missing out. And if this is how I need to do my ticket, this is what I'll do. This is what I need to do. It is the struggle, the catch-22 between these positions where we end up saying, you know, I just don't want to feel what I felt before. Because I felt that before when I tried at love, when I asked for help, when I delegated and they didn't follow through, because I felt that before, I'm not going to try now. Simple fear of disappointment. Some of us don't want to feel that discomfort, that heaviness that came with not being let down, that heaviness that came with this is just my life right now. I don't want that. I don't think I can handle experiencing that again. I don't think I can handle putting my effort in again. I don't think I can handle that. Because I don't feel like I can handle that, I gotta cut that thing off. I gotta say, you know what? This is just not for me. Out of fear of disappointment. I'm afraid that if I plan, something is gonna go awry and I won't be able to do it, and then I'll feel disappointment again. Okay. So we have to understand that if that's what our brains are doing, that's what we got to course correct. Okay. I had someone this morning, she was messaging me. She was like, flight book, check. Ticket paid for, check. Hotel book, check. Itinerary receipt, check. Everything that I need is already right here. I'm ready. Had somebody else who was like, baby, I'm about to pack my bags 3.5 weeks early. They're ready. One of my ladies, she was like, she's coming from Texas, and she was like, I found a one-way ticket for less than $50. Less than $50? You mean they got tickets out here for $50, $60? And everybody, 9 times out of 10, I'm telling y'all, this is what we do out of fear of disappointment of not being able to have something. Or working towards a goal and we're afraid that we're not going to be able to do it. We don't even go to check and see what it would take to achieve it. We just rest in, this isn't for me. I feel like it is, but it just feels too hard. I told someone, she said, I can't afford to attend. I said, how much is the ticket? She didn't know. Do y'all see yourselves here anywhere? I said, how much is the conference ticket? She did not know how much the ticket was. Her mind, her brain instantly told her, I can't afford it. I invited somebody else. They said, I can't afford to go anywhere. Anywhere? And then here's the kicker. I was talking to her husband the same day. And I said, listen, I have a women's conference at the end of every month. I would love for your wife to attend. She said, I'm just broke. I can't have it. Her husband was like, we're not broke. Her husband was like, I would love for her to go to something like that. It was her own mind. Y'all, half the time, y'all don't even ask. I hope somebody feels like seen today. 9 times out of 10, we don't even inquire what it will take to get to something, to have something, to achieve a goal. You haven't even itemized or quantified what it takes to achieve it. What do you need to do to make this happen? Do you need to go back to school? Do you need to get a certification? Do you need to get trained? Do you need coaching support? Do you need business development? Do you need a loan? Like, what is it that you need to do in order to make this happen? 9 times out of 10, we don't even know. We don't even start walking down the road towards it to see, what do I need to do differently in order to achieve it, out of fear of disappointment. Fear of, I can't have it. And so then we don't even go and ask our loved ones, ask our significant others to, hey, can I take 2 days off? It was my 13-year-old daughter this morning. We were talking about it. Not about like conference per se, but she said, Mommy, aren't the husbands of the women who are not coming, right? The women who say, I can't leave my family for 2 days, 3 days. The women that say this, I can't have the weekend off, right? Aren't their husbands offended? This is my teenage daughter. She's 13. She said, aren't their husbands offended when they say that? I said, what do you mean, baby? She said, don't their husbands feel like you don't believe in me that I can handle the family for the weekend while you're gone. I said, baby girl, you said something very powerful today. So many of us, we don't even attempt. Most of our families, you're walking around the house acting like Godzilla, stomping, mad, tired, overwhelmed, slamming cabinets, fussing at everybody, right? This is where you are. I want to grow my business. I want to do this. I want to start something for myself. I want to have all these things, but it's not possible for me. This is what's going on in here that maybe nobody else sees, right? I'm overwhelmed in my own way. I know I'm in my own way. So I say, listen, I extend the hand. Come to the conference. We see you. We're your people. We'll love on you. We'll give you actionable steps. You'll come home a brand new woman. I often say, did you talk to your husband? What did your husband say about you leaving for the weekend? He said I could go. Okay. Then why you not coming? And it's everything to do with their own minds, our own minds. We are afraid of disappointment. We may have some little narcissistic tendencies where we feel like everybody else will cave in if we're not there to micromanage them. Oh my goodness. And some of us are just flat out afraid of disappointment. We're afraid that if I ask and you change your mind, I'll be crushed. We're afraid if I ask for help and you don't do it like I thought, I'll be stuck in my same situation. So I'll just micromanage all of this because I'm trying to self-protect, self-correct so I don't experience what I did before. I know what I'm talking about. I know it's the truth. You're afraid of planning because you are afraid to be disappointed. You're afraid to be disappointed. We implement strategic procrastination to protect ourselves from fear of various things. Number one was fear of disappointment. Number two, y'all stick with me. Number two, fear of decision making. Whoa. Fear of decision making. One of the biggest benefits of coaching, of self-development, of growing yourself, setting goals, all of this is you get to decide what you want for now and for your future. Okay. You get to say at the end of this year, put this up just like this, my notes. At the end of this year, this is what I want to have accomplished. Maybe you're like me. I have a strict aversion to vision board parties. Right? I have just a thing. I'm not going nobody's vision board. I'm not doing no cutouts, nothing. I'm not putting that on Pinterest. None of it. I'm just not. The plan is the same that it's been all this other time to take over the world. Okay. Anyway. That's my plan, has been the plan. My plan has not changed over the last 2 to 3 years. I don't need to go on the vision board parties. I already know what I'm doing. So one of the biggest benefits of self-development in this way is that you learn how to be a powerful decision maker. You learn how to take the options that are in front of you, not procrastinate on them endlessly. Say, I'll think about it. I'll wait until this time. I'll figure it out. This will happen here. No. You just work towards committing to the decision you have made. I, Christina, am a life coach professionally. It's what I do for a living. It is my full-time job. In addition to coaching, I am an advocate for maternal health, educational equality. I get paid to do that too. The conference is pillar number 3 of the Mamathon movement. And number 4 is I do university talks, corporate talks for organizations like Hyatt and the Housing Authority, various universities around the country. This is what Mamathon does, right? I don't have to change all my decisions around, am I about to start selling candles? It's not popping in. Y'all feel me? We're straight. We know what we're doing. We know what we're working towards. And some of us, You have to make a decision. Yes, I am doing this. Yes, am investing. Yes, I am getting a coach. Yes, I am teaching my children how to do this. Yes, I'm going to create this kind of marriage. Yes, I'm going to do it. And no matter what winds may blow and waves toss your behind to and fro, I am committed to loving, excuse me, my decision. I'm committed to loving this decision. Homeschooling my kids, a powerful decision I chose to make. We chose to make. And so even though life gets crazy, even though my coaching business has picked up exponentially, even though all these things have been happening, we're looking for the way that we can continue with this decision, even if we have to tweak it or make it more flexible to work for our family. But some of us, we implement strategic procrastination in order to avoid making decisions. Let me just make the decision to pay this money. It's called, if I was going to make this change, I would have done it already. That's why the gym is going to be filled with people who are like, whoo, I knew I should have been skinny in May. I should have been skinny in October. I should have been skinny in December. January is my month. Let me go ahead and hire this coach. Let me go ahead and get back in the gym. Why? Because now's the time that I feel like I need to make the decision. But what if you knew exactly what was right for you? And what if feeling good about the decision was not an indicator if it was right or wrong? This was something that came to me in my own personal coaching that blew my mind. Blew my mind. Feeling good about a decision is not an indicator that it's the correct decision. Think about it. How many times have you, back in the day before you was married or whatever, right? You saw Mr. Wrong. And Mr. Wrong was always fine, wasn't he? Mr. Wrong was like everything on the planet. He was good looking, right? And we always were enamored with Mr. Wrong. Instead of leaning towards, okay, this is the right person. It may not have seemed like it was right at the time, but this is actually the right thing that was for me. And we would love the good feeling that Mr. Wrong brought to us, right? We would love the good feeling, but it was still wrong. So good feelings are not an indicator that something is right. And so many of us employ strategic procrastination. We begin doing some different things in order to avoid making decisions because we're afraid of feeling disappointment again. We're afraid of being let down. We're afraid of actually choosing this decision, this resource, this, next open door. All of yesterday, we talked about creating the doors. Like, you're not waiting on anybody to open the door for you. You're okay with creating them, right? But sometimes we are so afraid. We just spiral in our own minds over being overwhelmed, over being afraid of making decisions that we don't make any. And then we end up in the same situation 3 months from now, months from now, a year from now. It's called your default future. It's what's going to happen anyway if you make no changes. Oh, I'm going to do this differently. Are you? Are you? That's why some of us need a coach that's going to be looking at us at the gym, because you need that level of responsibility. Sometimes it's okay to need that. It's okay sometimes for me to say, I got 7 children, 1 child, 5 kids, however many kids you have. And I know that sometimes loving them well derails my progress. So I need to know I need to retrain my brain to execute better. Okay. So number 1, fear of disappointment. Number 2, fear of decision making. We want to go shop around for the right choice over and over and over and over and over again. It's just a way to procrastinate. It's just a way for us to put it off for a while until it seems right, until it feels good. What if none of it feels good? What if doing the right thing doesn't always feel good? What if taking the step makes your stomach feel like it's going to fall out the bottom of your gut, right? What if it feels scary? Can you be okay with that? What if it makes you feel insecure, experience scarcity or whatever? What if it brings up those feelings? If I invest in myself, somehow I'm letting my whole family down. We have these thoughts that play in our minds, right? If I take care of myself, if I invest in myself, if I work on me, somehow I'm taking away from everybody else. Some of us have tricked our minds to the point we don't even take 30 minutes or 45 minutes to work out. To leave the house and go walk or run or go to the gym. We don't even do that because we feel like us leaving for 30 minutes, we have hyped ourselves up so much. We have become so conceited to believe you stepping away for 30 minutes is going to end everything at home. How can we undo this thinking, right? So, number one, fear of disappointment. Number two, fear of decision making. Number three, fear of failure. Fear of failure. Very often, when someone come on a call, they're excited about coaching, right? They will talk about coaching. And there's usually three reasons why they have a hesitancy. Okay. Number one, they just met me. They're like, girl, who is this? Right. Even though they booked the call. I had somebody yesterday, she booked the call. She was like, oh, I don't even, almost like she didn't know how she got here. I was very amused. I was like, you booked the call on my calendar. You messaged me, right? So sometimes we have a fear of the coaching process. Like we don't know what happens when I coach. And most of us need support, especially with productivity. This is something that is very intangible. Like overwhelm, you can't touch feeling overwhelmed. You see the results of it, but I can't touch it. You can't touch procrastination. I see the results of me being procrastinated or the lack of results, the lack of progress, the lack of income, the lack of rest, the lack of all the things. I see that as a result of overwhelm and procrastination, but I do not always know what the tangible thing is that contributes to it. Okay. So for a lot of things, we are working on something that is intangible. And when we're working on something that we really can't see or feel or see or experience like firsthand touchable, we're like, okay, I'm afraid to move forward because I need to work on the stuff that I can see. This is why we go and we go wash our dishes, we go put our laundry away, we go and sweep the corners and all this other stuff instead of doing what is intangible. But it's the intangible things that's the true work. That's like the real effort. It is the intangible that actually create the biggest results in your life. If you are constantly putting things off to another day, if you are constantly feeling, oh, well, you're yelling at your family and you're mad about stuff and you don't delegate and you're afraid of failing, like all of these things, they just protect you, put you in this little bubble that lead to lack of results, lack of progress in your life. And similar to being disappointed, sometimes we feel failure because we're like, you know what? I just don't feel like I'm the person to do it. I don't feel like I'm the person for the job. I don't have belief in myself that I can create this result in my life. I don't believe in myself. Some of us, we strategically do not plan. We procrastinate on purpose due to fear of disappointment and fear of failure because I don't feel like I'm the person that will create the result. Whatever it is I'm hoping for, that I'm going to accomplish the goal, is actually how I feel about me. It's not you, Christina. I know you're a great coach. But if I take this step, if I say yes, if I jump in, can I do it? Can I make this happen? Is this actually possible for me too? This is where we work to close the gap and make it tangible, nail it down, take it out of, I'm just thinking about it. It's floating around in my life, in the air, but instead I'm bringing it down to something very concrete. Because some of us, we have an aversion to planning that just isn't serving us right now. You should be like, you should already be in next year. You should be like, girl, this is what I'm doing next year. How am I going to finish 2023 with all my sauce, with all the goods, right? How am I going to accomplish that? How am I going to do that? How am I going to be the person that executes at the highest level? Okay. And so that's our focus for this year. It's our focus for next year. It's our focus for all the ladies who are in this community, who are tied to me in some way. I'm just coming for everybody's edges, right? I'm like, listen, all things are possible. And I will show you my faith and my belief in that statement by my work, by my planning ahead, by my going for the ask, by me making the connections, by me creating my own doors and my own windows. I will show you my faith through the work that I do, through the consistency, through the show up, through the sending the emails, through the follow-ups, through all of this. This is my work. This is what creates the brick laid strong foundation. And we build these epic families, these amazing movements. If you're someone you feel like, because I've been having a lot of coaches finding me, I'm like, listen, if you're a coach and you want to coach, like you're meant to change people's lives. I love seeing my clients on the internet hosting events, charging money for speaking, growing their communities, planning things ahead. Like, listen, this is 3 months away, but I'm going to work on it. I got a client that just got elected against a public office, client who's on Netflix, like all the things. Doing amazing things to change the world. But when you are stuck in this bubble, when you're afraid, how do we encourage others to be movement creators and you're afraid? You're stifled. You're stuck in this one spot. How do we create change for other people and we ourselves feel like I can't jump? I can't do it. It's not for me. Yes, it is. Everything that I see in my own mind is for me. And I am willing, committed to, dedicated to doing the work to see it through and make it happen. I'm willing to plan ahead. I'm willing to put my name in the hat, put y'all's name in the hat for something that's happening 6 months from now, a year from now. I'm willing to plan today for my 2025. I'm willing. But you all as a community as well, we have to be willing to step in, lean in and be the person that does that work. Okay. So as we wrap up today, number 1, Mamathon Conference, October 27th through the 29th in Atlanta. I want to say tomorrow morning is your last day to book a room. Like your last final moment to book a room. I think we've taken 90% of our room block up already. So if you have not booked your room, could be strategic procrastination or whatever. You could need a roommate to split the hotel. I don't care. If you don't have one, I'll find you one. Okay. But we want you to be there. If you have a heart, a desire to learn, grow, network, learn how to be a bomb speaker, learn how to negotiate better on contracts and opportunities, learn how to practice self-care from the inside out, what your body is doing that it shouldn't be doing, to learn how to take your voice and amplify it to change the world in your communities, in the government space, in the media space. This is the event for you. We are your people. Don't doubt it. We 100% have what you need. Okay. So if you want to come and join us, if you can only get away for a day, right? Come for the 28th through the 29th. Right? We have a discount code for you. If the full cost is like, you know what, Christina, I need that discount code this year. Help me out. We got a discount code for you. There's no reason for you to miss out except you said you want to. I have opened the door. I have extended it. I have pushed it wide open, right? To make sure that it's possible. If you feel like this is the room for you and you need to be there, to make it possible for you to be there. We do not gatekeep information. We don't gatekeep information. We believe you shouldn't be so lost in the crowd that you can't get your questions answered. We believe that you should be able to come to an event, Meet the person that you need to meet so that you can do that follow-up work and become the woman that you need to. I told you guys, one event for me, going to one event turned into over $20,000 in a partnership for me. And somehow we might feel like this is just going to show up at our door, Amazon Prime style, without us going out and taking that chance. I have gone to an event and got a single word. Hey there. I'm coming to read your comments. One move forward, then it's like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I could pitch like this. I didn't realize this is the opportunity. I didn't realize this. Like, I didn't realize this was possible. Thank you for telling me that. I grab that word and I run. You hear me? Like the Bible says that you write it down so that the person that is running can read it as they run. This is what it's all about. So I can't see your name, but this is what the comment says. I love this, and I've experienced being afraid of interlocking with community and expose the nakedness of where I was and what I don't know. Got to learn to bypass that nervous system to show up and act. Baby, I'm going to talk about that. After hanging around for over 6 years, I am so excited to finally get to be in the room with you and the Mamathon community. Tell me what your name is because I can't see it. You know, I was saying this earlier. Maybe you guys weren't on for this part. But like our nervous system, our bodies, our brains, all of it is designed to protect us and keep us safe. All of it. It's designed to, hey, Nicola, yay, I'm so excited to have you. All of our bodies, our brain system, everything is designed to keep us in this safe bubble, this entity where there is nothing that drives our blood pressure up a little bit, that makes us feel nervous, that makes us feel out of pocket. Like, I just love feeling calm, comfortable, safe, right? One of my ladies, y'all, her speaking has blown up. You hear me? Her brand, everything has blown up. She did her very first speaking engagement at the Mamathon conference. And she was so nervous. She had never even gotten on a plane like to go nowhere. I didn't know she had left. Like, it was crazy. I was like, what you mean you ain't left Florida? Like, what? I don't understand. And she said, okay, I'm going to come. And when I say since that time, even I've hired her to be my stylist. I can't even count how many others. She became known as like the Mamathon stylist. And everybody was hiring her. Tell me what to wear to my event. Right? There was somebody that spoke like one of my friends and clients spoke life into her and was like, listen, if something costs less than $1,000, people don't even value it like they should. She had to tell her that. What do you mean? You're going to go and shop for me and do all this stuff and it don't cost at least $1,000. What do you mean? Somebody, a mutual connection in that space had to tell her, increase your price. It's worth more. One of the ladies that's coming, she told me, she said, for all that you do, you keep people out of divorce court. You help their businesses to grow. You help them to love their season of life, raising their children. You should be charging at least $20,000. It's like, ma'am, I'm not there yet. It's okay. Like my brain, like Nicola said, feeling safe. I'm not there yet, right? But to love the work that I do so much, because the culmination of this event is like everything. It's like, y'all, you made it here. Walking into the conference is like coming across the finishing line. But I want us now to retrain our thoughts to say, me coming to the conference, me interlocking with community, me saying yes to this next thing, even though it scares me and it feels very unnerving. And I've never done this before. I haven't felt comfortable being this person. Investing in myself is scary. You being the person that says, I'm going to finally be the woman I said I was going to be. I've been talking to myself in my mirror. I've been journaling about it. I've been hyping myself. I've been reading these affirmations that I found on the internet. All of this kind of stuff. There's so many more layers behind this. Because every woman comes to the conference, right? And they're like, okay, now I'm leaving. I feel like a whole new person. Now I'm going home to my family who was not at this event. They did not hear about how my life has been changed. They did not see the light bulbs that came on. They weren't there for that. So the conference serves as our starting line, right? The conference, preparing for the conference starts as the starting line. And then coaching, support, strategic planning for the next 3 months, 6 months, a year is what keeps you being that person. It helps you to stay in what we call a high value cycle, where I firmly believe on a daily basis that it's for me. God wants it for me. I'm the woman for the job. I don't slow myself down with imposter syndrome. I stop procrastinating. I stop delaying. I'm in it. I'm here for it right now in this moment. Everything that I'm hoping for, everything I'm believing for is fully possible, completely tangible. And I will not let overwhelm, burnout, spiraling in my own mind, and getting in my own way to stop that. And so because of that, we have the conference, the 27th through the 29th in Atlanta. You need a roommate? Let me know. You need a discount code? Let me know. Whatever it is you need to make it happen, we're here. The only thing that can cancel you out or put you off the island is you. Okay? And then number 2, there are some of us who are ready right now. You're like, Christina, I want my first slot. I have 3 slots available for the remainder of the year, right? 2 of them have already been snatched. Okay. Got 3 spots available for the end of the year. And you know that you want this kind of support. You know, like, Christina, I don't want to continue to waste any time. My time is too precious. I have too little of it. I want to know the fastest way for me to meet my goal and double my results. I want to do it this month. I want to do it this week. I want to get started. Okay. You're like, listen, I want to be in a focused environment. Here on our Facebook Lives, I can answer questions, right? But it's going out to the masses. It's not solely focused in on only you. We're troubleshooting, problem solving, implementing, planning strategically so that even though failure is always part of our story somewhere, like when we work together, we take away what stalls the progress. We take away the mental hurdles, right? That slow us down. Where something that could be taken care of in the month of October now becomes a January, February, March goal because our minds are not in a place to move forward. Our emotional health, our mental health, our physical health, our plan for success. Us doing that work, right, together, where we're like, okay, this is what I'm thinking. Coaching has supported me so much because I can now identify what my mind is doing. I'm like, oh snap, like that thought isn't serving me. Oh my goodness, I didn't even realize this is what I was thinking. That's what coaching does for me. I have tripled my income. Tripled. Not went up 12%, 10%, tripled as a result of investing in coaching. Because I was determined to get exactly what I came for. I was determined to be the person that was ready. You can't just apply for 6-figure grants and not be ready. You can't shoot your shots for the elitist of the media and not be ready. You cannot apply for fellowships, sponsorships, all of these open doors, collaborate, doing certain corporate talks if you're not emotionally ready, if your mind isn't there. And because I invested in bettering myself, I became a better coach, a better leader, a better spokesperson. All of these opportunities that unfolded in front of me as a result of my yes. As a result of my yes. I was like, you know what? I know I got to do this right here, but I know I'm going to get it back. Like I know that when I invest in this way, I know I'm automatically going to become the person who does this all the time. And you all have watched, you have seen the transition, the transformation from what was to what you guys are seeing now. Okay. So if you're like, Christina, now is my time. My next level is right here. And even though it makes my stomach bubble a little bit to think about all the things we're going to accomplish, it makes me a little nervous. I get some butterflies. Even though I feel those butterflies a little bit, I'm going to move forward. Because ultimately, me moving forward and bettering myself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, growing myself in that way, only benefits my family. Only benefits it. Some people feel like if I do this, I'm taking away from my family. No, your business succeeding is good for your family. You not yelling, screaming, being an irate Godzilla mother, benefit for your family. You being balanced, fulfilled, healthy, good for your family. It's irresponsible for you not to do it. It's irresponsible for you not to do it, for you not to look for ways to be the best mother possible, the best wife possible. What? The hesitancy that we feel like we're taken away. No. We want the best version of you. The world is waiting for the best version. We're excited for it. I'm like, look at my clients in other countries speaking, doing vacations, taking retreats, when at a time they were workaholics and they could never rest. Look at my client over there speaking, taking engagements. Look at this client over here planning live events. Look at this other client over here running for public office. Look at this client over here on Netflix. Look at this client over here. Look at this person over there. Look at this other client who wanted to leave her field altogether, but she had to get her emotions together so she could continue doing the work she loved. She was just burned out. Look at this client's family, marriage thriving. Her and her husband getting along. Them seeing each other, being able to talk through, her learning to advocate for herself. This is what I need. I need help. I need time. I need a date night. I need space. Can you get the kids? Can you do the bedtime routine tonight so all of her resentment and anger and frustration was just going away? You owe it to your family to be that woman who says, hey, I love y'all. I need some support. Hey, babe, don't worry about it. I got it. What? Most of your husbands really do want your business to grow. They want you to be successful. All of these things pile together, okay, equate to some really beautiful magic unfolding, okay? So if that's you, it's your time, you're ready now. You want to take the step forward because you know you growing, developing, changing is actually the best thing for your family. I'm a better mom. I even help my kids identify thought errors in themselves sometimes. I'm like, baby, I see you going to go and clean your room in order for you to do math. What if you don't need to have this together in order to do what you really have to do? That's called strategic procrastination. He's like, you know what, mom, you're right. I do go clean instead of doing this other thing because cleaning makes me feel better than math. It's that growth, it's that progress, it's that intention, right? So here's what I want you to do after this live is over. If you're interested in coaching through the end of the year, if you're like, Christina, I already know you're my person, right? I already know this. I've been here for a while. I've been hanging out. Nicola says she's been here six years. She finally gets to come to the conference. Okay. If you're that person, if you're interested, you're like, Christina, I'm all in. I'm ready. Right? Then I want you to slide in my DMs. I want you to just send me a day of the week this week that you can meet, and we'll schedule a time. Okay. We'll schedule a time that works for us both. We'll take all of the, scheduling stuff out of it. Just send me a time that you can meet. Okay. We'll make it work. I have Now, calendar apps are beautiful, but sometimes y'all be like, y'all don't know. And then when the question says, tell me about such and such, y'all like, oh my God, I have no idea. And then y'all freeze. Don't freeze. Just send me a day of the week this week that you can meet. We'll iron out a time and then we will make progress forward. Okay. But I want everybody here to know that sometimes we procrastinate on purpose because we're afraid. We're afraid. We can be afraid of disappointment, that things are just going to turn out the last time like they did this time. We can be afraid to make decisions. What if I make the wrong one? One of my ladies, she said, I invested in a coach and that person just took my money and disappeared. And I was like, that didn't work out, did it? You know what I mean? Like sometimes we can be afraid of disappointment. And so one of the things that I tell my ladies often is I'm not going to disappear on you. This is our 8th conference. Year 8. Right? Sometimes y'all just need to know you're in good soil. You need to know this person isn't going to pop up today and then vanish tomorrow. And I have jumped in and I'm like walking with this person and all of a sudden they just go away. And they pop up later selling candles and life insurance because they weren't really committed. I'm in this thing with you, okay? And then number 3, sometimes we have fear of failure. We're afraid that maybe I'm not the person for the job. Maybe I'm a perfectionist. Maybe I'm a people pleaser. Maybe I have imposter syndrome. I just put everything off. I procrastinate. All of these reasons we're afraid that I'm not ready to be the person that I should be in order to tackle this goal, in order to love my family well. But my perspective is that's where coaching comes in, where we help you to look at all of these different areas of your life and we begin to bring it all together. This is what we're going to do next. Okay. And we're going to troubleshoot and we're going to implement until the highest level of thinking, execution, processing, goal reaching is your normal. It's your normal. And then you will have the affirmation that I always have, that every goal that I set, I achieve. Oh my goodness. Like every single one. Every time I set a goal, we're going to work towards it. It's going to happen. Every time. Okay. So I love you all dearly. Slide in my DMs. Y'all been here all this time. Let's find a coaching package that works for you. Okay. October is the month. Y'all hear me? October is the month. I want to work with as many of you guys as possible going through the end of the year to help you slide into the new year feeling like a bombshell and to keep you out of attending vision board parties for every single Saturday of January so you can create a plan. I know it. I know it. Okay, I love you guys dearly, and I will see you all tomorrow.